Hi guys and welcome to another rambling. It's Sunday. I'm not quite sure when it will be up and how long this video will be, but this will be definitely a completely random rambling, and once again because I don't have any notes right now, and I will just talk a few things that came up into my mind, what happened the last few days and all that. So I will just start off with project upgrade because there is quite a lot of progress had been done, because what I did, as you can see here already, the camera is completely different. I'm not quite sure because of the microphone is up here. I have to get out of it, but because it's the only way that I have right now. Other than that, it would be in the way and block the monitor, something that I don't want to, but I should be okay in terms of sound here. What I also have right now that you can't right see, but it's definitely nothing you want to see, is my curtain. I got it right now, hooked it up, but it was looking so cheap because it was cheap that I decided to change the camera so you won't even see it. What it's good for is it reflects light, because I wanted gray, because gray would have been a neutral color that blends in right now quite nice into all my stuff, but gray was sold out, so I chose white. I thought white is neutral as well, blends into everything, but at least this white, because it's polyester, is so reflecting and looks a bit cheap that I decided not to use it. But I still have it here because the light reflects quite nicely into the room, so I have light from both sides, even though I don't have lights everywhere here anymore. So that is fine. I am okay with the curtain. I will still have to put it the whole room because it's just like 2 meters right now, but that's so fine. What I also got is quite noticeable: 3 monitors. I wouldn't have gotten free if there wouldn't have been a store that is closing and sold them out for 20% off. So I had to grab it because with all the money I saved on this sale out, I got pretty much one for free. Because what I also bought is my gear for my PC. I didn't really get too much because the good things were already sold out or just not even available, because I'm planning still to build a Skylake PC, and they didn't have a Skylake. And since they are closing, they only sell what they still have on storage. And that was an Asus. This will be my mainboard, an Asus. It's the Maximus 8 Hero or something like that. So it's the Hero. Because I wanted to pay like 140 for a mainboard. That was kind of my limit. This one costs 200, but I got 30% off, so it's 140 still. So I could have either gone with my limit with 140 and actually go get that one that I planned. It was an ASRock, and then pay like 100. But I said, no, let's go for the higher end, because that one was also available, the other not. And I still had a limit of 140, so I want that. But I have a now way better board. I also got the RAM, 16 gigabyte, two sticks of 8 gigabytes. With 2000 megahertz should be good enough. I wanted 32 actually, but they didn't have that. They only had 3000, but 3000 was of lower quality, so I paid for that. So on these two items already, I saved 100. On every monitor, I saved like 40. So like you can see, 220 or something around that. So I got one monitor free, because every monitor costed me right now 250 euros. Usually they cost like 300, so I saved quite a good bunch of money. And I think I'm just more comfortable with a triple monitor, because I used two monitors, and it's definitely nice. It would be totally enough, but I think three just opens up so many more possibilities. And right now, if you can maybe even see the two on the left, the middle one and the left out displaying pretty the same, because they are still powered by a MacBook Pro until I get my PC, because Intel Skylake 6700K doesn't seem to be available anywhere for a reasonable price, because the normal price here right now is 360, 370 euros, but those shops don't have it, and the shops that have it want 460, and I'm not paying 100 extra. I wait, because it should be available around mid or end November. I can wait that long, because I still have a lot of other things to do. I did my whole cable management, and you saw the picture maybe yesterday on Google Plus. I have no cable touching the ground anymore. Okay, maybe not no, because there are two cables right now that do touch the ground, but it's fine for me, because the great thing is, whenever I had to do something on the floor or check a cable or so, it was always in the way, because there were like 1,000 cables. Now I have them all mounted to my desk. It's one with 10 ports, one with 6 and one with 3. So I use already 4 or 5 just for the lighting here. One, now it's 3 for the monitors, actually 5 because I have 5 monitors, and don't judge me, I know it's total overkill, but those are old monitors I already have, and I already had them since I ever started YouTube for the monitoring. One is for monitoring what I'm actually doing in front of the screen when I do a review, and the second one was the one that I used for editing, but also if I do monitor what I'm doing right now, because there was one monitor that I saw what I filmed from my above cam, and there is a second monitor that I could right now see what I'm doing, but I can't use that right now because actually now, since the microphone is there, it completely blocks my view on the monitor. But I'm super happy with the current setup once it's finished, but for right now I'm totally happy because the lighting here still seems okay. I have a little bit flexibility here still. The curtain reflects the light very nice. What I also got is the DX Racer chair. I got that also on a sale for 20% off, because maybe you can see it. I always said it, I am quite cheap and I always try to get the best value out of something. And that's why I always look or hunt for deals. Usually this one is 250. I got it for 200. But I also have to say, I was at least at first a little bit disappointed that it's not the leather version, it's just the fabric version. But that's maybe actually the smarter decision for me, because I had a leather chair, a fake leather chair before, and in the summer it was always sweaty, it was always hot, because it gets very hot up right here. That was very uncomfortable. And in the winter it was very cold, so this one is at least okay. What I'm not so happy about it is a little bit too narrow for me, because I am overweight definitely, and I think this chair is for people at 80 kilos and below. I am about at 83 right now, and it's not that it's too narrow for me, but the thing is, if I'm comfortably doing something on my desk, I want to spread my legs and have it a little bit more comfortable. That is due to the narrow sides, and I will make a review maybe and show this. Just not comfortable because you hit the edges then. If that wouldn't be the case, if I would just sit normally in it, it's definitely fine, and on the sides it's totally fine in terms of width. What I also got is, but I can't really show it off, or maybe I can. Let me quickly go out of the way. I got the Razer Deathstalker because I wanted a chiclet keyboard. I didn't have really any sort of, I'm still talking to the microphone. I wanted a chiclet keyboard, I wanted something with backlight for sure, and I wanted something with a numpad. So when I did my checks for what is available, I think this was pretty much the only one. I have the normal one with only the green lighting, not the chroma with all the colors. It would have been nice, but I don't pay 100 extra for just the lighting. What I also got is the Razer Taipan Battlefield Edition. And before you ask yourself why Battlefield, I'm definitely no Battlefield maniac or something like that. No, the reason was it was way cheaper than the normal version, because the normal version is $80 or 80 euros, and this one is just 60. I don't know why. Maybe it's some kind of promotional thing, because they say it's like kind of advertisement for Battlefield. I don't care, because I wanted this actually because of one reason. This version is glossy. The original version has this soft touch coating that I don't like, because I have dry hands, and this soft touch, which is also very dry, feels very awkward for me. So I kind of actually wanted the glossy one. If I would have had the option to go for whichever version, then I would have gone for the white one, because pretty much everything in my room is white. It looks very elegant, and that one was also glossy, but that one costs also $80, and I'm totally fine with that. It's a little bit odd to see that my keyboard is green now and the mouse is orange, but I don't really care for that. I'm not that much of a gamer. So what else did I get? Yes, I got also my new tower. It was visible in my last review, the Fractal Design Define R5. Why did I get that one? For two reasons, or for a few reasons. I already have a Define R5 in my living room, the black one. Works out as well. It's quite quiet, not super quiet. My old tower was actually, I think, a little bit quieter, but that one had some custom do-it-yourself dampening that I made, which was a lot thicker, because the one you get on the Define is like maybe maximum of 5 millimeters. Mine was at least 1 centimeter everywhere, and there was this also more foamy dampening of about 2 centimeters that I had also in some places. So this was definitely the more quiet, definitely more silent solution. But the tower was already like 10 years old, and it was aluminum, and it was bent like quite bad, so I had to return. I have the white one now. I'm still okay because the tower itself has tons of space. It's very smartly designed. If you want a review, leave it a like here just so I know, or just leave it in the comments, because I am happy with the tower itself. And maybe if it turns out to be too loud here while I'm working or while I'm recording something, I will just dampen it myself even more so than it usually is. But I think also my old components in my old PC were a little bit too loud. So if I right now only have an SSD in it, only the water cooling, and no real physical, or I mean spinning hard drive, it should be quiet as well if I get a good power supply, because the power supply in my current one is slightly broken, and that's the loud thing. So I am talking already about 11 minutes. I didn't even get to the rambling that I wanted to get, but okay, it's 11 minutes. I can stretch it a little bit more. So that's it for the project upgrade part for right now. I will keep you updated if you want to. So leave it a like if you want to, or just leave it in the comments for me to know if you want to be if you want to be kept updated, or something like that, for project update if something new happens. Is there something new happening in the short time? No, I don't think so. Once I get my PC, I will make a full setup tour once again, explaining why I got what. And if you want a review of the Deathstalker, or the Taipan, or the tower, once again, just leave it in the comments so I know that, because those aren't the newest devices anymore. But if you still want a review from me, no problemo. So what did I want to talk about? Just real quick, a few things that I actually did a rambling about last week, but it turned out my camera froze and it didn't actually record all what I said. So I will quickly make that up again. It was the Z5 Compact. I got to hold it in the store. Gotta say, it feels a little bit chunky because it's quite thick, but in terms of size, it's really, really nice. Premium feel. Display was nice, so it's definitely a cool phone. But the one that impressed me a lot more in the store was, as you can see here, the Huawei Mate S. And I will release the review, I think maybe next week. I'm not quite sure when I will be done with it. Maybe within the next week. In the store, it impressed me, but I couldn't hold it because there's always a security tag. And the funny thing is, it was last Monday, I think, the postman just came and gave it to me. I mean, from Huawei. Because the funny thing is, if Huawei gives me a review on it, they don't announce anything, they don't say anything, they just send it to me and then say you have it 2 weeks. So I didn't expect it at all, because it was funny, because I returned actually my 34-inch monitor from Dell that I reviewed, and I got this, and I thought, perfect timing, because I don't have a phone to review right now. Oh, actually I did. I had the Motorola G3. And just real quick about that, quite disappointed in the build quality. The phone itself has really nice and great qualities. And for the price in the US, it's still a great offering. But here in Europe, with $280, which is more than 270 euros, which is more than $300, the value is just not there anymore. Because before I would recommend someone to get the 1GB version of the Moto G3, I would say save like 100 euros or even more, it's actually, because you can get that for 130 euros here right now. And you get the actually better phone in terms of feel in hand and some aspects. Yes, the new one feels a little bit better performing, the battery life is even better. And the speaker is actually louder, not stereo, but I found it to be better. The 2GB version would be definitely the one that I would recommend, but that's just too high in price. And then I would either recommend maybe something like OnePlus X. That seems to be a real great budget phone, despite all the OnePlus things. And then I don't see too much competition anymore. So it's a really cool phone, but Motorola has to work on their prices here in Europe. People still pay it seems, but I think it's not okay to pay that much. So the Huawei Mate S, absolutely killer phone. And if not for the software, this could have been maybe one of the best phones, which it still is, but even closer to one of the best phones of this year, because I really love the feel in hand. It's, as you can see here, super thin. I don't even know how much, but it's like maybe 7 millimeters. It's super thin. great display. Actually, with the Kirin 945, which I said on Google Plus, killer performance. Quite good battery life, totally fine. So good camera. So if they would have made a software that is a little bit less annoying, this could have been a killer phone. So not to drag it any further, I had a few comments, I think more or less time, but the video is already 50 minutes and I don't want to bore you any more than I did. But as always, if you liked the ramblings, give it a thumbs up. If you want more about Project Update, give it a thumbs up or comments. More, no, I said more ramblings. More Project Update. Maybe more frequent weeklies, because now once I have, maybe like in a month or so, the setup more complete, the great thing is I can go up here, record as it is, and this will make things easier for me. So watch out for that. Setup tour should be coming, but I don't think this year anymore, because I won't be able to finish everything. So I wish you a nice Sunday if this video will be released on Sunday, and if not, a good next week or something like that. Okay, have a nice day. Bye.